Hello everyone, I'm going to be doing the controversial parenting. I've seen these videos and I'm going to give it a go, give you my opinions. So I've got them written down, but I've not got them written down in a different order because I did it from memory, because people have got them in a certain order on here, so mine are different, so I apologise for that. So first thing is baby piercing. I'm not for baby piercing, because I think that decision should be left up to the child. Also, it's very uncomfortable for me to sleep with my earrings in, so I wouldn't expect I wouldn't do that to my baby. I've got a boy, so didn't have to do that, but if he'd been a girl, I wouldn't have done it. I'd left that up to them, let them decide, and I'd want my baby just to sleep a bit more comfortable. I mean, I know that now they're put back on their back to sleep, but rather than on their side, but still, if they roll over, I'd want them to be comfortable. So second one I've got written down is cloth versus disposable nappies. I did cloth. I started off with cloth, but I had to stop because the make I bought was really cheap and just didn't work. So it was wet all the time. So I mean, I'd definitely do them again. I'd buy a dearer make, and yeah, yeah, definitely 100%. I'm all for them. I think they're a really nice idea. What are you doing? I think they're a really nice idea. Yeah, so all for cloth, but disposable's fine, you know, if you don't have the time, you know, you're a working mum or whatever, you know, if it doesn't fit into your lifestyle, that's the other option. The third one I got written down is circumcision. Again, like the baby piercing, I think circumcision should be the child's decision and not the mum or the dad or the family. I think it's the child. I think it's the person's decision. It's the child's body, not the family's body, and that decision is irreversible. If you do that, it's irreversible. It came up for us because my partner is Muslim, so it was something that we discussed, and I was like, no, definitely not. You know, it's something that should be left down to them. You know, they should choose. And if he says to me in 20 years' time, Mum, I want to do it, it's fine. Up to him. I've got no problems with people having it done. If that's what they believe in, it's fine. But I just think that choice should be for them. Fourth one I've got down is breast versus formula. I'm 100% breast milk. I believe that money cannot buy it. You know, money can't buy it. You can't replicate it. I just don't think that anything else like it in the world. That said, I had to rely on formula when he was first born. In the hospital, he wasn't really feeding. He wasn't waking up for a feed. He just wasn't hungry. That's what I think. But they were like a bit worried. Oh, you know, he's not eating for 6 hours. We're a bit worried. But I think, you know, he'd just been born. But they tried to cut feed him. That's, you know, but he wasn't really interested. But I also had to rely on formula when I went back to work because I couldn't express enough. But I fed my son for 10.5 months. Exclusively for 5 months, and then I started bringing in the bottles around 5 months, and then by the time he was 9 months he was pretty much on bottles, and he was just down to like once a day until he was 10.5 months. But I wish now I did it for a lot longer. I wish now I pumped from the beginning. I just wish I did a whole different lot of things, but like, I'm 100% for breast. I just think it's brilliant, and people that just choose not to breastfeed, I just think, why would you not want the best for your baby? You know, like, I just think, oh, you're missing out. You just don't know what you're missing out on. You know, it's a great experience for you and your baby. Then, you know, money can't buy it. You know, if you don't give your baby those first 3 days, just they miss out on just the best that you can ever give them. I just don't understand. It's just really confused. I just get really confused. I don't understand. But I mean, I know people that have to use formula purely because of the medication they're on, and, you know, pass it to the baby. So it's that. I think it's a very sensible decision. I think it's really sensible of that person. You know, they just wasn't. No. You know. They wasn't selfish. No, I want to breastfeed because they thought, no, I can't, you know, because circumstances. I just think it was really, really responsible of them. So it's great it's there, but I am more for breast milk. Smacking, I'm not for smacking. I don't think it's very fair. Like to just hit a child just because they've done this or that, you know. I think when they get older, what's going to hurt them more? You give them a wallop, they just get hit once, or, you know, they did that disappointment, you really disappointed me. I just think that would hurt you more. The sixth thing is the quiet out method. I have we have sort of done something with it. Like my son don't really sleep in his cot, and he's waking up in the night crying, and the health visitor said just let him cry, let him soothe himself, you know, he'll get tired. And it was working for a while, but then he learned how to stand up, then he'd fall over and he'd hurt himself and it wasn't working. I don't really leave him screaming his head off if I can't help it, but you know, sometimes I just think there's nothing I can do for you, you're not hungry, you know, you won't let me do this, you won't let me do that. He's just having he's probably just tired, you know, he just wants to like let all his last bit of energy out. But as for letting a newborn cry, no, I'd never do that. Seventh thing is co-sleeping. I did co-sleeping with my son just because I breastfed. It was just easier, and I think he was a lot more comfortable. But I think it ended up making a bit of a rod for our own back, because now he gets in our bed and he is like the master of our bed. Like, he decides where we sleep, not where he sleeps, you know. He's like spread out and everything. I think it's just made it a bit difficult, but I think it's fine. But I just think that you should stop after a certain, before they start realising, you know, like before they start developing that kind of side of their brain, and they think, oh, you know, mummy's bed's much more comfortable. So the 8th thing I've got is baby wearing. I love that idea. We did it when he was about 7 months old. We went on holiday, bought a little harness, and it was lovely. It was really nice. He loved being up high and being close to us, and I thought it was really nice. You know, it was a bit of a game for him, you know. It was really nice. I think it's a nice idea. The 9th thing is the homeschooling versus all the other options of schooling. But I don't know what charter schooling is, so I'm not going to include that. My partner works in a private school, because he's a teacher, and he said that he thinks it's better. You know, they get more one-on-one time. There's less of them, so it's just more intimate. They get more time with the teacher. They get to learn. You know, they listen more. So we would probably send him to a private school if we can afford it, because there's options that you can, like, you get like discounts if like you're already working there and stuff like that. Homeschooling, I think that's a great idea. You know, it cuts out, you know, the bullying and stuff like that. But then there's also like a bit of like a social, like, you know, meeting people and friends and stuff like that. But I think any option of schooling is fine. You know, I think any option, as long as they're learning, it's fine. Oh god, and the last thing, no, sorry, not the last thing. The 10th thing is adoption. To have your baby adopted, I just don't know how anyone could do that. To be part of my son, I think I'd cry. But if you can adopt, if you can adopt a child, I think that's great. But like, take a child in, I think that's amazing. But to have your child adopted, I'd just be, for me, I think I'd just be so heartbroken. I mean, it don't really happen nowadays where people just, it does, but it doesn't really happen as often as it did like 50 or 60 years ago, when they had to get the child because they wasn't married. But now it's more, I think a lot of it is that they find people that can't look after their children. When I know someone, she fosters, it's my mum's friend, she fosters, and you know, she's had to look after babies that were malnourished. And I just think to myself, how can you not feed your child? One of them was being fed sugar water, and I just think, how can you not? How is money, like, you know, money can't be an option, because if you don't work, you get milk tokens, and also you get free milk off your body. There's no excuse for it. If you can't look after a child, then you I just don't understand. I just think it's, I don't know. That's another story for another day, but not really going to go into that. But you know, the last thing I've got written down, I know there's a 12th one, but I can't remember. But the 11th thing I've got written down is the pro-life versus pro-choice. I'm pro-life. I'm more pro-life. I think that everyone should give that baby a chance, you know. And then I know, going back on the adoption thing, but you know, let that child live. And if you have to adopt, you have to adopt. But I'm not saying that pro-choice shouldn't be an option. I think that bringing abortion in, it's kind of like solved some of our problems, really, because now, you know, that children, especially boys, teenage boys that don't have a father around, they found, there was a study done, and there's a book written called Freakonomics, and there was a study done, and they found that once the abortion was brought out, once they made it legal in England, they found that there was a drop in crime so many years later, because there was less children, especially boys, being born without a father. So when these children were being born without fathers, they were more likely to commit crimes because they didn't have this role model. but they found that as soon as the abortion was brought in, so many years later, the crime rate dropped. So it's kind of solved some of our problems in a way. And also it gives people another option, you know, if they don't feel strong enough, they can't look after a baby, or the circumstances, you shouldn't just, no, not that one please, you shouldn't just judge people, oh, they've had an abortion, you shouldn't just judge people because you don't know their story. People that just go, no, I don't want to have a baby, you know, my life's more important, and I just think I could have done that, and I didn't, you know, no, it wasn't, I thought, no, I'm going to give this baby a chance, you know, but no, I'm all for, I'm pro-life, but, if anything I've said, I hope I haven't offended anyone, but that's just my opinions, and I'll get some more videos going. I'll speak to you all soon.